So let's sing it loud and proud for Bob. Keep Christmas with you. Keep Christmas with you all through the year. When Christmas is over, you can keep it near. Think of this Christmas day when Christmas is far away. Keep Christmas with you all through the year. When Christmas is over, you spread some Christmas cheer. These precious moments, hold them very dear, and keep Christmas with you all through the year. Christmas means the spirit of giving, peace and joy to you. The goodness of loving, the gladness of living, these are Christmas too. So keep Christmas with you all through the year. When Christmas is over, save some Christmas cheer. These precious moments, hold them very dear, and keep Christmas with you all through the year. And keep Christmas with you all through the year.
Whoever did that said put it right here where I could find it. Thank you. Hello, my name is Marianne, and I am your trustee on duty today. One of the big benefits is you get to hang out with the prayers in the morning on Sunday, and it's awesome. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly, truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you're meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action every day and every way. And I tell you what, there was a dinner here on Friday night for the volunteers, and it was knock your socks off, even with a bar with wine and 0 calories soda and ribs and 4 kinds of desserts. Anyway, that's love in action, man. But I digress. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our declaration of principles at the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Thank you to everybody that made today just what it is, another very special Sunday celebration. The chair people, the trash people, the smiling people, the reminding people, the new people, the music people, the people with big thinking, all of you, thank you so much for being here. Now, I'm going to bring your attention to these announcements.
If you are joining us for the first time today, the words for our Namaste song are inside the first page of your bulletin. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. I'm Melinda Mulch. Actually, she asked me to fill in today, and I'm so thrilled to be back. So thrilled to be here. Thank you. The practitioners are the healing arm of this center, of our teaching, and we're here for you in case there's anything going on that you would like treatment for, or if you have an amazing demonstration that you'd like to share with us. I'll be sitting over there holding the high watch, and you can fill out a prayer card, and we will pray for you all during the week. So as I light our service candle, please join me in our opening invocation. Know with me that today's service is already a perfect, whole, and complete entity in the mind of God, and that it now outpictures and takes form through the words of Reverend Donna, through the amazing inspirational music of Heather, through our practitioners, our audio and visual technician Gray, our coffee ladies, and everyone else involved in bringing this service to us today, and especially all of us here who are of like mind, of like heart. I know this to be the truth, and I declare this service perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now as it unfolds in form. Join me in saying, and so it is. All right. So my reading this morning is from Reverend Karen Lindsley, a wonderful minister whom I've taken classes with, and she reminds me of a slightly younger version of the fairy godmother in Walt Disney's Cinderella, if you can picture her. And she had a wonderful writing this week that I asked permission to read, and she said, oh, absolutely, please, thank you. So it's about Advent. And Advent begins the fourth Sunday before Christmas Day, and it is in preparation for the coming of the Christ child. In our teaching, the Christ is a consciousness. It's a way of thinking. It's a holding of the Spirit. But did you know that the Latin root for Advent means Adventus, which means a coming in? Did you also know that Adventus means adventure? And did you know that the principles of Advent are hope, faith, peace, joy, and love? So whether you observe Advent from a religious stand or not, this is an ideal time to open up a new adventure in life. Actually, you could be more active about it and actually invite adventure. Then you get to vision about what adventure looks like for you. Is it going down the rapids of the Amazon? Is it going to the grocery store? The key when we do that is to realize that by inviting adventure in, we come face to face with whatever is blocking us from said adventure, and then we get to remove those blocks. Advent is also a good time to contemplate what it might mean for you to take hope and use it to eliminate despair and discouragement from your life. To use faith or knowingness to move from negativity to positivity. To replace suspicion and doubt and fear with peace. To seek the joy in everything. Because you know, when you seek, you will always find. And most importantly of all, to practice unconditional, non-judgmental love for yourself and others. I think this is a great way to fully enjoy this holiday season. We can use those religious rites, which are actually modern versions of pagan rituals, to move us into a place where we are fully enjoying what life has to offer. So as this year draws to a close, what new adventure are you willing to invite into your life? Thank you. Namaste.
It was dawn, all the who's all abed, all the who's still a snooze, when the Grinch packed up his sled. Packed it up with the presents, packed it up with the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up, to the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
How could it be? It came without ribbons, it came without packages and bags. Pooh to the who. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two, and then the who's down in the Whoville will all cry, oh, boo-hoo. That's a noise I simply must hear.
And the Grinch paused and put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started low and started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes, and then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all.
He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it just came the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons, without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas isn't something that comes from a store. Oh my God. Maybe Christmas means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say the Grinch's small heart grew 3 times the size that day. And that minute his heart did feel quite so tight. He whizzed his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef.
We'd like to invite any Who's down in Whoville who wants to sing. I have sheet music if you want to sing.
Yes, this is church. Good morning. And thank you to Heather and to Gray and to Wanda and Bruce as our Sonoran Desert players. You know, as I was watching The Grinch and know the story of The Grinch, sometimes in the middle of the hustle and bustle of this time of the year, I can almost identify with The Grinch. And I'm not alone. I just read that Theodore Seuss Geisel, aka known as Dr. Seuss, was in a bad mood one Christmas. So he wrote the poem, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, as an antidote to his own grouchiness. So it was a great story. So if you've not been experiencing the Christmas spirit, I trust our Sonoran players has opened your heart a size or two this morning. Well, our theme and topic this week is Christmas every day when your heart is big. The Grinch's heart did grow 3 sizes when he realized that Christmas was not found in material possessions, but the intangible qualities of love, friendship, compassion, and caring. In the classic Christmas movies that our Sonoran players are depicting, each hero or heroine is transformed by the realization that there is something beyond material possessions, beyond outward success, that is not only the true meaning of Christmas, but the true meaning of life. You know, so much of the time, you and I live in a world of experiences, a world of facts, and that's the world that we know the best. We're in it all the time. But there's an inner world as well. And in that world, facts are transcended by a higher truth, by what our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, calls a direct revelation of the omniscience, or all-knowing, through us. And when we begin to touch that direct revelation, when we allow ourselves to listen to that divine intuition, our heart grows bigger because we are guided by love, which is the highest expression of God. You know, facts may tell us that we have the right to be angry. Love tells us that forgiveness heals. Facts tell us that we are headed for an economic recession. Love tells us that life is abundant and God is our source. Facts tell us that we die. Love shows us the eternality of life. You know, in the writings of Carlos Castaneda, Don Juan, the Yaqui shaman that is his teacher, tells Carlos, there is no destination. There is only the path. Just be sure that your path has a heart. So when we allow love to be the guiding light in our life, then our path will always have a heart, no matter what is going on in our world of affairs. Years ago, Roberto de Vincenzo, a renowned Argentinian golfer, won a pro tournament with a substantial cash prize. After receiving the check and smiling for the cameras, he went to the clubhouse and prepared to leave. Later, as he walked to his car, he was approached by a young woman. She congratulated him on his victory and then told him that her baby was seriously ill and near death. She didn't know how she would ever pay the doctor bills and hospital expenses. De Vincenzo was touched by her story, and he took out a pen and endorsed his winning check over to her. Make some good days for the child, he said as he pressed the check into her hand. The next week, De Vincenzo was having lunch in a country club when a golf association official came to his table. Some of the boys in the parking lot told me you met a young woman there after you won the tournament last week. And he nodded. Well, said the official, I have news for you. She's a phony. She has no sick kid. The girl fleeced you, my friend. You mean there's no dying baby? That's right. De Vincenzo replied, that's the best news I've heard all week. You and I do not have control over what other people do, but we do have control over our own response. De Vincenzo gave his money freely and was so pleased to find that there was no sick baby that the giving of that money didn't matter to him. And that's a path with a heart. The Who's had no control over the actions of the Grinch, but they did not let that affect their joy. The meaning of any experience is the meaning that we give to it. We can choose to see through the eyes of love or the eyes of judgment. The person or situation we judge won't be affected.
but we will. The person we love from afar won't be affected, but we will. Dr. Seuss knew this and gave birth to the Grinch so he, Dr. Seuss, could once again see through the eyes of love, could come to the world with a big heart. The universe settles everything into its right place, and our business is to live with a big heart, to act in harmony with our values, find peace in our own integrity, regardless of the integrity of others. You and I have the ability and the resiliency to transcend every hurt, every wound, every resentment, and travel that higher path through the wisdom of our heart. And we find that we do have a place in this world and a purpose that's far beyond those labels that we put on ourselves. We see that the world is our classroom and every person is our teacher. When we see the world through the wisdom of our heart, then we become a part of that planetary shift in consciousness. And from that big heart, we can begin to dispel the centuries of seeing each other as separate and apart. Centuries of egotistically thinking that one group, ours, is right and the other is wrong. Centuries of believing that war will bring peace. Centuries of seeing ourselves as victims, buffeted by outer experiences. Centuries of looking outside ourselves for our salvation. The world we see through the eyes of love is far closer to reality than the one shown to us by fear or judgment. And it's certainly more joy-filled and more peaceful. Rabbi David Cooper in God is a Verb tells this story. Once there was a king who discovered that his entire supply of grain had been contaminated by a strange fungus. There was no way of knowing anything was different except for one little problem. Anyone who ate this grain lost all contact with true reality. In simple terms, when a person ate this grain, he or she became deranged. The king and his advisor were the only ones who knew about this problem, and so they discussed their options. They were rapidly running out of the uncontaminated grain, and there were no alternatives for feeding the nation. In 2 more days, they would have to open the contaminated storehouse, or all the people in the kingdom would starve. At first, they thought they would give the grain to the people, but would not eat it themselves, so that at least 2 people in the kingdom would maintain their sanity. Then the king realized that he would not be able to govern the masses if he did not understand what the people were thinking. So he suggested that he should eat the grain, but that his advisor should stay sane. Then the advisor realized that it would be impossible to give advice to the king if he was seeing true reality, but the king was not. They understood, in order to rule a kingdom of people with a different reality, that both had to eat the contaminated grain so they could see things like everyone else. The only hope for the future of the people was the possibility that someone would be able to realize that the world they were experiencing was not true reality. So the king and his advisor put out an edict to the people that everyone was required to put a mark on their foreheads. And every morning when they saw that mark in the mirror, they were to ask themselves, what does this mark mean? Their hope was that people would wonder why everyone was obliged to ask themselves this question, and eventually, at some point in the future, this mark would lead the nation to the realization that their reality was illusory. This is where the story ends. We never find out what happened because, in fact, we are still living the story. The mark on our forehead is the yearning to connect with the divine presence within. We haven't seen it that way because we've been living in the world of outer affairs and the insanity that often brings. You know, we've all heard the story of the Down syndrome children in a Special Olympics race. They were running for the finish line, and one little girl fell, and another little boy stopped to help her, and soon all the kids realized what was happening. They went back to help, and they formed a line and laughingly crossed the winner's circle, the winner's line at the same time. You know, in our insanity, we experience a sense of exhilaration when we cross that finish line first and we're declared the winner. And the world will tell us that that's right, that's joy, we won. Yet these Down syndrome children are our greatest teachers of what it is like to live with a big heart. Their joy was in helping another, in linking arms and crossing the finish line, all as winners. These children, whom the world calls less advanced in mental, physical, or social development, have within them an inner wisdom that knows what love is and what joy is. They may not be able to express it, but they know that joy is not found by coming in first. These children do not need to question the mark upon their forehead. They are awake to the love and joy that is all around them. A big heart is natural to them. So these children are our teachers. Scrooge is our teacher when he vows to keep Christmas spirit all year long. Susan and Doris are our teachers as Kris Kringle awakens them to the miracle of faith and belief. The Grinch is our teacher as he begins to see that the spirit of Christmas is not found in boxes and bags. And as we learn these lessons found in both fiction and in real life, we can feel our own heart growing at least 3 sizes. Thank you. Namaste.
Now you all get to be the Who's.
Yeah.
Please stand.
So it's time for our offering. Chance to put that divine law of circulation in process. There is a basket right next to the wish tree, and that's for your financial donations. You can make a check to the Center for Spiritual Living, or SDCSL. Just be sure that you put in the memo part that it's for Christmas. We do give credit cards to each family in addition to our gifts, so they can, complete their Christmas buying and however they'd like to. And it really is an amazing, it's an amazing thing to watch. I have so many stories about it, but anyway, please be a part of this and make somebody's life special. Okay, so our offering affirmation on the left-hand side of our bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And again, I thank you for your generosity that allows us not only to keep our center going and thriving, but to be a beneficial presence in this community. Received an email from Pastor Mauricio that said in Spanish, "Thank you for everything that you do for us." And there was a picture of about 30 or 40 people at tables eating. And of course, we support his food bank. So that was for us to say thank you. So that's a big heart. Okay, let's take a moment. We're going to be a little early. That's good. Take a moment to pray out, and then be sure and stay for Wanda and Bruce to talk about their work. And then if you're part of the Sonoran Players, please stay for that, okay? So I know right now that there is one mind expressing as one love, and expressing it uniquely through each and every one of us. And I know that this divine love is spread upon the earth. That in this holiday season we are reminded to come back to God, to come back to joy, to peace, and to the true reality of love, compassion, friendship, sharing. I speak a special word for anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, and know that that Spirit of God is at the heart of that, making easy the way for a perfect resolution. I give thanks that Brittany Griner is home on American soil, and pray for Paul Whalen. He'll be coming home soon. We declare that together. And so we simply release these words to that divine mind to do its perfect work as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. May we stand and form a circle and sing Stand.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be